Jane here from Kyms Homestead here in a very sunny and lovely Victoria, Australia. How are you all today? All well, I hope? Well, we're back in the kitchen today and I thought we would make some biscuits. I've got to fill the biscuit barrel, so I've had a hankering for those old Coffee Scroll Biscuits. Can't buy them in the supermarket anymore, so I thought I would make some. Now, I've never made this recipe before, so we'll be trying it together for the first time today. So what do I need for this? We will need 190 grams of plain flour, 2 teaspoons of cinnamon, 1/4 teaspoon of cloves, 1/4 teaspoon of nutmeg, and 1/2 teaspoon of allspice. We will also need 90 grams of brown sugar, 5 grams of vanilla extract, 1/2 teaspoon of baking powder, 130 grams of butter. Now it's got to be cold and cut into cubes, so this here will be going back into the fridge shortly. It actually came out of the freezer. This is the butter that we did together not long ago, the unsalted butter, so that will be going into the fridge to keep cold. At the moment it's thawing out. 40 grams of currants. Now I don't have any currants thanks to the pantry moth, little darlings, but what I do have is dried blueberries. So I'm actually going to substitute blueberries for currants. And 100 grams of white chocolate that will be finely chopped. You'll also need now 1 to 2 drops of either pink gel or red food colouring. Now I've got some gels that I use for cake decorating, so I'm going to see if I've got any either pink or red in that and use that instead of the food colouring, because that's packed and I have no idea where it is. So let me get set up and we'll get back to you again mixing the biscuits. Right, we're all set up. So this recipe actually came from Becs table. It's not my own recipe and I got it just off of the internet. So if you have a look up Bec /table just on Google, you'll probably get it yourselves. Okay, so it says preheat your oven to 160 Celsius if you've got a fan forced oven. And it says to obviously weigh all the ingredients and put them all in a bowl except for the currants. So we'll just put them all in. And these are all the spices together. Don't worry, my fingers are clean. Now, I forgot to get the butter out of the fridge, so I'll just get that. Here, in goes the butter. Let's see. Now I've read and reread this recipe a few times because I was thinking, well, where's the liquid to mix all this? But no, it did say it would be crumbly, but not to worry. So I'm not going to worry. Right, that's all that. And we put it on and mix it. Now, because this is noisy, I will probably either turn the sound right down or mute it. So, and I'll probably fast forward until we get to either stopping and wiping down the sides or until it's ready for boiling up. Well, that didn't take long. I can see what they mean about crumbly. Now, at this point is when you put in the currants. Only need to be more or less mixed in, so I've only put it on low. Okay, that's good enough. Right. I don't know whether you can see that or not, but that's the consistency of it at the moment. So, I will set you up for putting it onto the biscuit trays and I'll be back. Well, here we go. Got it all set up now. So here's our biscuit mix. and a cookie scoop, which doesn't want to scoop. Why is that? No, my cookie scooper won't scoop. It's locked itself somehow. Okay. Well, I can still use it to scoop it out though, but I just can't squeeze it out. I'll have to get to that with a pair of pliers, I think. Anyway, so now I'm going to sort of wrap it into a ball and flatten it right out, because we want our biscuits reasonably thin. Now, put the circles, that's too big. So, just going to use a jar just to put a dent of the cartwheel in, and then an egg cup for the second part. There we go. Yeah, it'll do. But that cookie scoop's not going to work. So okay, so you can see that. Let's see if I can bring it up to you. There. So now you've got a general idea of what I'm going to do. So I'll just get the rest of them out and then I'll come back. Well, here we go. We have 10 lovely biscuits here. So I will pop these into the oven for about 12 to 15 minutes. There we go. Now my oven must be running a little bit cool because they actually took another 1, maybe 2 minutes. I think they're done. I'm not sure, I won't know until they're cold. But because they're already brown, they don't change colour. but they're not soft in the centre at all unless I push on them, which I don't want to do. So I think they're done. So I'll be back when they're cold so that we can put on the icing. And I did find my red, well actually raspberry, imitation raspberry essence, which is what I use for red food colouring. So took a few boxes to go through, but I found it. Anyway, I'll be back to put the icing on when they're cold. Righto, well, the biscuits are nice and dry now, and as you can see I've put them up on a drying rack or cooling rack, and I've just melted the white chocolate in the microwave. It's nice and it's not runny, but it's workable. Now we'll just add some colouring. I'll add just a little bit at a time. That's about half a dozen drops. We'll see how that goes. No, way too light. I want them darker. Starting to cool off a little bit, so I might have to just pop it in the microwave again for a bit longer, because that essence actually cooled it right off a bit. That's a better colour. Right, I'll just pop it back in the microwave for a minute and let it heat up again. Okay, the essences has made it go a little clumpy, so what I'm doing is I'm just adding a little bit of cofa to it. The heat residual of the bowl will melt the cofa, and hopefully well, it's not brilliant, it's not creamy, but it's workable. Probably needs some more cofa, but I don't want to make it too much like cofa. Right. Probably if I had used the red food dye instead of raspberry essence, it might have been a bit better. And if I'd have used a double boiler instead of the microwave, the chocolate would stay creamy. But I don't think they've turned out too bad. And considering half, well actually more than half, about a little bit more than 3/4 of my kitchen is all packed away. Not bad. Not brilliant, that's for sure, but not bad. It'll fill the Bicky tin, which is the main objective, as I've got over the next couple of weeks. I've got probably quite a few people coming over to help me move. A little update for you. I was able to get an agreement from the current owners that I could, for a fee, rent the property I'm purchasing for 2 weeks before moving or settlement date, so that I can start to move some stuff into the house and into the shed, mostly into the shed, because I'm also thinking about putting down some new lino, or whatever you call it nowadays, throughout most of the house, because with my wheelie walker it just stretches the carpet, and you end up with all waves and bumps and stretched carpet, which isn't good for when I'm in the wheelchair. So, as I'll have probably just a little bit of cash, not much, but a little bit, I thought I would do a couple of things to the place to make things easier for me for later on. There we go. And I'm two biscuits short, but I'm sure they'll get eaten too. So there we are. Coffee Scroll Biscuits. First time I made them. They're a bit big and odd shaped and whatnot, but overall not too bad of a job. I'll get better as I learn to make more. So, moving date is now being brought forward. I think I get the keys sometime round about the 19th of February, but moving day has been booked in to the 21st of February, so that I've got a couple of things, or a couple of days up my sleeve where I can see what's going to go where, get in anybody that needs to get in to measure up or have a look at or do whatever before any furniture and whatnot goes in. And obviously I can't alter anything or do anything like that until after I take possession of the property. But as far as just moving in, living there and getting people to measure things up, that won't be a problem. So it's rolled around fairly quickly, and being able to take over a fortnight before settlement date has been wonderful, because that gives me 2 weeks to actually shift everything rather than one day. I was really starting to stress about being able to get it all done. As you know, I'm not in the best of health, and it's a hard enough job for a young person, let alone one of middle to late age. Anyway, so that's a quick update on as far as moving the homestead. As far as gardens and whatnot go, that will be later on, obviously. Vegetable gardens, I'm not looking to actually put in a new vegetable garden for at least 6 months, if not 12 months. I'd like to see what happens in the yard as far as the sunlight, temperatures, placements, all of that. I'd like to see what's happening there, and I'll probably change my mind a dozen times before the end of 12 months is up. So, or even by next spring, maybe, we'll see. But I'm sure that I'll have quite a few things to do out in the backyard. There's trees that need to be removed, there's plants that need to be put in, and gardens need to be maintained. So we will be getting outside occasionally, just not in the vegetable garden. Most of it will be setting up the new pantry for one. I'm very, very excited about that. I've waited a long time to get a pantry like this, and I'm so looking forward to it. And this year I'm looking forward to my pantry challenge, because I'll be able to take note of what's in my pantry so much easier, so much better, and rotate things so much easier. And yeah, I just can't wait to bring you along for the journey on that. So anyway, now biscuits, how do they taste? Well, let's have a little look. That was a stray blueberry. A little bit crumblier than what I really like. It has that, the taste is quite good. It has that shortbread taste to it. You know, that buttery texture that you get from shortbread, that's what it's got to it. Very nice biscuit. As far as an afternoon cup of tea biscuit goes, one that you'd like to dunk or something like that, no. Pleasant afternoon tea biscuit, something a little bit different than the normal, like, what are those milk biscuit things, the malt biscuits. Just something a little bit different. This mix is supposed to make 20 biscuits. So obviously this only made 10, obviously my biscuits were way bigger than what theirs was. It's not the same as the coffee scrolls that I remember, that's for sure. As I said, it has more of a shortbread taste, feel, texture to it. Very buttery, very crumbly. But overall, a nice biscuit. And I would make it again, but I would probably change the recipe a little bit so that it had more of a firmer texture. Other than that, the flavour's all there, it's really good. And if I had the right if I had the right ingredients and most of my kitchen back, probably a little bit better, but not bad overall. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed this video, and if you did, please think about giving me a thumbs up. That would be very much appreciated. And if you like the content, think about subscribing. I really would appreciate it, and it would help my channel out tremendously. Anyway, that's it for me for this week, guys. I hope you all have a very pleasant week, and I will see you again next time. Bye for now. There's another blueberry. Yum.